Welcome back to another episode on Solent Warrior. We're out at the crack of dawn. What's the time? 20 past 5 in the morning. It's an early one today. We are doing a catch and cook fishing mission. So, I've come with no bait whatsoever. But I have bought nearly every rod I own because I just don't know where the day is going to take me. So the idea today is we want to try and pick up some mackerel this morning, maybe head round the back of the island onto the reefs, pick up some wrasse and some pollock and some bass, and just adapt to whatever the day is going to chuck at us. So, we've got one rod set up with a Skerries Pro. That is going to pick out our bass. If we can find a nice big one for the barbecue, be over the moon. I've got another rod here. This is a Pen Squadron 3. That is set up with a Sidewinder speed jig, just on a what is it? It's a 3000 Pen Battle. Beautiful little setup, and it doesn't break the bank at all. Perfect little rod if you want to get into this sort of fishing. What else have we got here? Just in case we end up going out onto the deep wrecks and the deep reefs and the wrecks, I've brought my jigging rod. This is a conflict jig, and I've set it up with a Solent. That behind this little case here, just see the hook hanging out, it's a Sidewinder slow jig. I think I've got an 80 grammer on there at the moment. I've got a feather rod set up as well, ready to go. I've got I've brought a live bait rod with me set up with fluorocarbon. It's a nice big jellyfish right next to us now. Just getting confused. We've got all the rods we need today. Let's just get out there, see what the day chucks at us, see how many fish we can find.
I said nothing of the sort. 'Cause my blood's red like yours. But it's time to get higher and higher, higher and higher, just like before.
Didn't take long to find the birds. We're just off of Brown Down Beach in Gosport, and there's birds all the way along here. I don't know what it'll be. I imagine more than likely it's going to be bass, because we're in relatively shallow water. We'll have a look. Lots of white bait there. There could be mackerel involved in that. Big cast is royal properly. Oh, we're straight in. Ah, yeah, I think this is mackerel. Pretty sure this is mackerel. Yeah, right, we're in. Let's have a look. Feels like mackerel. Oh, there was about 4 on there then. That didn't take long at all. Now, what I have got just down here out of shot is a cool box full of ice. That is exactly what we're after. Better get me lunch out of there though. Now, if we can stock up on a good amount of these, I need some for bait. And we're going to need some for live baits. Oh, there's millions of them here. Didn't take long at all. Problem is when you're catching strings of 4s and 5s is the mess they make of your feathers. That could have been a bass there then. Oh, they're absolutely everywhere. Oh. Let's get some water in this bucket, sort my hands out and get loaded up. We've just come off the shoal, so we'll move back round and I'll show you exactly what I'm working on here. Right, these little birds all lined up just along Brown Down and all the way down through here, birds working. Got to be a little bit careful where I'm fishing here because we are literally pretty much on the beach. There they are. Hey, that's what we're looking for. Come on now. Take my wedding ring off. Getting a bit loose on the old finger. Last thing I want to do is lose it over the side while I'm fishing. I'll put it back on when I get home, Vicky. Maybe. That's a better one. Now that's the size of mackerel we want for the barbecue. Look at the colours down the back. See if I can get it in the sun. Quite green mackerel. We get a few, now it's a bit controversial. We get a few different colours of mackerel. We get like an electric blue mackerel in this country. And we get green. There's loads of birds working down there. I'm trying to ignore it at the moment. They're exactly the same species. I think they've just to adapt to what they're eating and where they are. He's only a little babby, this one. Send it back. We've got a few now, so we can be picky. Now, like I said, I do need a load for bait for the chest freezer, but primarily we want a load for. Oh, there they are. Oi. This is a messy old business. We've got blood Splattering the boat everywhere. Splattering the camera. Oh, we're gonna have a bit of a mission cleaning down today. Let's have one more drop there. There is an old saying. Don't leave fish to find fish. That was a bass. Just before we leave here, I'm just going to chuck one of the Skerry's Pros, because every now and then I'm seeing a bust in the middle of all of this that I think could well be decent sized bass. Now they could be in feeding on the white bait the same as the mackerel, or they could be feeding on the mackerel. So there's ever a chance you're going to find a double figure bass on a lure. It's around a mackerel shoal. Oh, kiss of death straight away, look. If you ever get this fucking sun, if you get weed on your lure, nothing will take it. I tell you what, I couldn't help myself. I'm going to stick the Mimic Speed Jig down here, just to see if we can find a bigger mackerel in this shoal. Oh, oh, came off. He wasn't a bigger mackerel though. No, is the answer to that question. It's finding the smaller ones. If I can get him unhooked without hurting him, he can go back. They are literally like shooting fish in a barrel. They're not the size we want. I mean, they're good for bait. Definitely good for bait. But I want a couple of big ones. I've got a few hungry mouths to feed at the moment. Lots of people are asking. That's better. That's what we want. I knew it'd pick out a bigger fish. Look at the size of that for a mackerel. Oh. Right, let's get this treble out of its mouth first, because that's going to cane me. That's the sort of mackerel we... Come on now. We want for a feed. Big mackerel. What I've got in my cool box is a 2 litre bottle of water frozen. And then I've just put a little bit of seawater in there. And it's almost like you don't want to put mackerel or any fresh fish into fresh water. I don't know what I'm catching. Yeah, it needs to be into salt water, so I've got a little bit of salt water in the bottom of the box, and I've just stuck a frozen bottle of water in there. It chills that salt water right down, and the fish will stay super fresh in that. Right, we're off the shoal. I'm gonna have one more cast inshore. Let's move on to this big shoal I can see up in the background. Right, I've just moved down to a place called Solent. Can you see all of these birds? Let me show you. There is literally birds working as far as the eye can see in there. Now I can see people running around from the shore. Quite often, mackerel fishing is the first type of fishing a lot of people do. It's a good family thing. If you can get yourself on a charter boat doing a bit of mackerel fishing, it's a good sort of family thing. It's easy, very easy, and very tasty. And that feels like a bass. Oh, no, that's not. Going into mackerel. Ah, little tiny fuckers though. Oh, come on now. Hopefully we get some good karma from that. They're literally everywhere. In the boat. That's what we want. Right, I've made a decision and we are going to go down the east side of the island. We're going to go down past Sandbank and we're going to see if we can pick some bits and bobs up of the reef. Now, there has always been something in the back of my mind with the deep reefs off the back of the island. There is triggerfish. Now, I've had a friend that got bitten off while they were bream fishing, constantly biting the hooks, not biting the line, biting the hooks in half. Now, if anything, that's going to be triggerfish. Let's go and see. We've got all day. Let's go and see what we can find. It's going to be a little bit more sheltered down that side anyway, if this wind stays westerly like this. Let's go see what we can do. Didn't really fucking work, did it?
Well, I think you better run like a kamikaze butterfly right into the sun. Well, you know it's never done. Well, it's all I ever say is a one.
Well, I've just tucked in, man, eastern side of the Solent. We're right down near Sandbank. Now, there's a bit of reef running through here. So we're going to have a little look with the Skerries Pros and just see what we can find on there. It should be, oh, the water clarity is fucking brilliant. We're only fishing in 25 foot of water. I'm hoping that there's some bass. There should be a couple of big bass sat on this reef. A few fish showing on the sounder. God, it's like a different day in there. got a bit of weed on. Reel's just a little bit stiff. That's unusual for this little bad boy. This reel squeaks like a bird. I've had this. What is it? It's an old Shimano bait runner. I've had this reel for 20 years. Don't think I've ever serviced it or anything like that. Right, let's carry on. Let's move on. Let's go see if we can find these big fish. Well, the wind's a bit shit out here. I've changed what I was doing. I spotted a couple of wrecks on the way out. So I've just set up a wrecking rod. We're drifting 1.3 knots at the moment. We're just coming up to the wreck, so I'm trying to be a little bit quick. We're just going to catch the arse end of it doing this. All I'm doing, if you can hear me through the wind, is I'm dropping down till my lead hits the bottom. Bonk, that's the lead hitting the bottom. And then I'm reeling in 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 10. Just going to catch the arse end of this one. Not going to be a good drift, I don't think. But you never expect the first one to be perfect. I'm going to see if we can get away with 6 ounces. I think we will. We're losing the tide a little bit now. It's going to be a quick one. Yeah, we've got no worries with 6 ounces. Much more comfortable. It's always worth going with the lowest lead you can when you reckon, because you're up and down constantly. You'll be knackered if you go with like a £1 lead and you don't need to. Right, fish on. Yeah, fish on. Oh, that's a nice fish. Are we going to get him up? Oh, what we got? It's going to be a bass, I reckon. That is a lovely bass. I'm going to go for it. Shouldn't really do this, but I'm going to go for it. Oh. Well, that just spat up a shitload of stones. Let me show you this. Look at all these stones and crabs. This bass just spat up. Loads of little crabs and stones for some reason. There's our fish. There you go. Lovely. I mean, he's inhaled. See if I can get this line up. He's absolutely inhaled the Skerries Pro. He's going to be coming home with me anyway, so let's get this out of the way quick. See if we can get this lure out. The lure was just, look at that, look at proper wreck bass that. Nice and dark, healthy fish. There's the lure. There's the bass. Well happy with that. Now that's well in size, but just for anyone that doesn't know, legal size limit for a bass in the UK is 42 centimetres. This time of year, we're in August now, it is 2 bass per angler per day. That's all you're allowed. There will be a close season coming up, but just to give you some example, that is 53 centimetres. That is a perfect table fish. Now, I'm going to dispatch it off camera because a lot of people don't like to see it and you get all the do-gooders jumping on. But what I do is I cut the gills and that bleeds the fish. Then I brain spike it. That relaxes all the meat. If you're going to take a fish, you might as well look after it as best as you can to make the quality as best as it can be when it's on the table. Let's get a bit of mackerel on. There's a couple of sandbars next to me, sandbanks. They're roughly in anywhere between 80 foot and 130 foot. Let's go and see what we can find on a bait drifting through there. Right, I did just have a little nose in on another wreck. All I've done, exactly the same wrecking gear, is fucking camera. Exactly the same wrecking gear, but I've just taken the lure off. Just put, I think it's a 3.0. All I'm gonna do, it's so simple. Let's get one of these mackerel. Just gonna fillet one of the sides off. And then just take a strip like that. Now, right at the tail end of mackerel is a bit of sinew that is very tough. If you go through that and then go maybe 2 or 3 turns, just leaves a nice little flappy bit of mackerel. Going to let that go down the same sort of speed as I let the lures go down so it doesn't tangle up. I sort this camera out. This darkness in the corner is annoying me. Right, that's on the bottom. I'll leave it to go out a little bit longer. I'll leave that going out a little bit. Get it away from the boat a little bit. On the drag to be set. Now, when you're fishing for turbot, if you see a bite on the rod, dunk, 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 like that, let a load of line out. Give it line, give it time. If a fish is chasing that bit of mackerel and it grabs at it and then turns away, but that mackerel just stops and just drifts so slowly, it'll think it's a dead or an injured fish and it'll come up and it'll swallow it whole. I'll give it, this drift's about 200 yards, 300 yards. I'll give it maybe 2 or 3 drifts in there, see if we pick anything up. See how we get on. Right. got a fish on. That feels like it's probably a ray. Oh, you fucker. Ah, no way. What happened? That was a big ray. I lost the whole lot. Oh no. I did get caught up at the bottom. Right. Let's get reloaded. I had a snag about 10 minutes before that and I pulled through it. Now that I think damaged my my rig body. Gutted, absolutely gutted, because that was a big fish. I'll leave that to take some line out. Yeah, lines all, that's where it snapped. That was my swivel there, look, that's where it snapped there. That's all really rough, so that got damaged coming through some bit of reef or something. No bother, we've got another few hours left, we'll find a big fish. While we're drifting through, I stuck some baited feathers on the bottom. I picked up this little critter, this, it's called a scad, or a horse mackerel. Very good shark bait. Very good. You couldn't fit any more fish in that box, you know. Just drifting, baited feathers on the bottom, just to see if we can pick up some mini species, gurnard, maybe bream, you know, anything that wants to take the bait. But if there's live bait down there like scad, then there'll be things that they're feeding on, sand eel or white bait or something along them lines. So we know we're in a good area. We're actually going to drift very close to a wreck. That'll be interesting. Right, I've had to put you under the shelter because it's getting windy. Just going to check the bait on this because we did get caught up a second ago in another bit of reef or rock. Check the hook ain't bent out, check the bait's still good. Still good. I don't want you to be able to see this in the background, you know. I've got a bimini up to stop you getting all the wind noise. Well, I was getting ready last night. I was meant to be going to Cornwall, see our job, do a bit of tuna fishing, but the weather window was too small to travel that far. So I opted for a local session, and I thought, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to go find some mackerel? Do I want to find some bass? Do I want to look for a turbot? Do I want to look for a ray? Do I want to try some reefs? I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it all. I'm going to go wrecking, I'm going to go mackerel fishing, I'm going to go turbot fishing, I'm going to have a little look in all the reefs. Got a fish. Yeah, we've got a fish. Don't know what it is. Yeah, no idea what it is. It's something very small. Are you kidding me? A conger on the drift. A conger on the drift. I'll finish this last drift through it. Once we've lost the tide, I may shoot back in towards the island. Just sit on a couple of banks. Bit of fresh bait out for a little while. See if we can pick up a couple of undulate rays or spotted. Might pick up some small blondes. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna pick anything up. Yeah, I don't think we're going to pick anything up considering the tide's going to be nearly slack in a minute. I picked up a bite. Yeah, that's a fish. Relatively good fish, I think. Oh, is it gone? No, it's coming up. Let's hope it's not a dreaded. I'm not even going to say the word because we've come up slack tide. This doesn't feel like a turbot, to be honest. Coming up in the water. The conger, I reckon. I reckon it's a small conger. Yep. No good, man. Spit it out. Right. I think we'll move inshore. We've lost the drift here now. Let's go see if we can find a ray quick and then go from there. Well, I've just got over to a couple of sandbars that I know hold blonde rays. It's quite a well-known mark. I won't go into it, but I'm just upgrading. So I had £25 fluorocarbon on this rod before. Just upgraded to £50 and put a 8.0 circle on there. All I'm going to do fillet that off. Let's have it that way round. that's all I'm doing. Just don't think there's going to be much tide here. We'll have a look. Might need to up the lead in a minute. It's only 5 ounce on there at the moment, but we're pretty much on slack tide. We're fishing in 54 foot of water at the moment. Let's see how that gets on. And I'll set up another rod. Let's go for one of these. Oosh. These are great for this type of fishing. If there's big congers or anything about, it's the Penn Regiment 3 boat series. It's just got a slosh 30 on there. Cheap, cheerful, but does the trick. These regiments, I think you can pick them up for 120 quid or something, not much at all. These are 12, 20. No, they're not, sorry, these are, that's a 20, 30. And I'll just get this set up with, if I'm lucky, I might have one ready to go. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll make up what I call a helicopter rig. So all you want is a little bit of line. Spit that out for the minute. This is what I've been using all day on that other rod. It works for everything you need. So lead clip on the bottom. And then I don't have them to hand, so I'm just going to use these. But you want a couple of beads on there. I'm just going to use Lumi beads, just because it's what I've got right in front of me. All it is to protect the knot. And then once you've got Lumi bead on, tell you what, let's stick 2 on there. Swivel down over the bead like that. Wind's picking up again in here. We'll do an hour in here and see if we can pick up a ray. So all I've got, lead clip, 2 beads, swivel that's just slipped over the line, and then a bead at the top. And then finally, to finish it off, another swivel at the top. And then tell you what, I'm going to end of that, it's a little bit chafed, so I'm going to take off a couple inches. Just tie that direct to your line on the top swivel that you've tied on. And that is it. That is your little rig, little leader rig. We call it a helicopter rig. Then all you need to do is tie your hook length onto the running swivel. What I've done is made this all out of £50. My shock my leader on my rod is £60. So if I get caught up and I have to go for a break, it'll just be this stuff I lose, and I won't lose all my leader as well. And then we've got some Veras, what are they, wide mouth I think, big mouth extra. These are 5/0s. going to be a nice ride home, you know, later, if this wind carries on. We'll have tide against wind all the way home. But we'll deal with it. That is it. That is all you need for wrecking, for bait fishing. And then we'll just stick come on, leg clip won't open. That motherfucker has been squashed somehow. There you go. What's that? That's probably 12 ounce I think I'm putting on. Probably don't need it, but it's just what I've got right in front of me. And then, by the way, I picked this thing out to sea on the way home. It's like a rail guard. On the way home, I mean on the way here. Let's get one of these smaller ones. Fill it off side. Like I said earlier, in the tail section of these mackerel, when they're fresh like that, there's a thick bit of sinew that will hold that beautifully. That is as simple as it gets. Cast it away from the boat slightly just because there's not much tide at the moment. And I don't want my lines tangling. The reason I've upgraded the line, you will catch rays and congers on 25 if you're lucky, on 25-pound fluoro. Rays have got a crushing plate in their mouth. They don't have teeth. They're very good at parting line, and congers as well will just spin up, bite through. You need to upgrade that line a little bit if you look for bigger fish. On the way over here, there wasn't a breath of wind, and it's just picked up about, I don't know, 20 mile an hour. Since I've anchored. Never mind, we'll deal with it. Just while I'm waiting for a bite, some of these bigger mackerel, they're going to be for a feed. I'm just whipping the guts out while I'm sat around doing nothing. When mackerel have been shoaling up like that, like this morning, and feeding on hundreds and thousands of little whitebait, their guts are full of rotting, skanky whitebait. So if you're gonna keep them for a feed, I've got that in a cool box that has got ice in it, but I don't want it sitting there festering inside their belly. So when you get a chance, if you're gonna take them home for a feed, if they're going in the bait freezer, leave it all full and stick it straight in the freezer and pack for 3s or 4s or whatever, how you want to pack it. But if you're going to be eating them, get them guts out as quick as you can. You'll get a much nicer fish. We've got a little bit of interest on this rod here. Just going to give it a couple of foot of line. very, very slow nod, which could be a ray. I don't know what that is. Oh, there, no, he's found the hook. Now he was swimming up tide. I think this might be a ray. I'm unconvinced. If it's a ray, it's a small fish. It is a ray, and it is a small fish. Oh, it's a painted ray though. Oh, that's nice to see. Now that is a small-eyed ray, or what a lot of people call them, painted rays, because it looks like it's painted and it's got very small eyes. I don't need to teach you to suck eggs, but these get up to, they don't get massive, they get up to, I mean, I think a 15-pound fish is massive. He's only a little baby. See if I can tee him off. That's a beautiful little fish. I don't know if you can see the eyes on this camera. I'll try and get it to focus. Their eyes amaze me on rays. Beautiful fish. Let's get him back. Lovely. Well, we found one. I'm glad, because I'm getting bored doing this. What time have we got now? We'll give it another 15 minutes on here. Then we'll start heading that back in, sorry. I'm getting a bite on this. Same as before. I'm just giving it a few feet of line. It looks like it's probably another ray. Let's go for it. Just a circle hook, so I didn't strike. Just there's the fish. Just pulled up into it. That's a better fish. Oh. That's a much better fish. Hopefully, we've got a small blonde on here. Every man likes a small blonde. The fuck are you on about? Feels like a better fish. slightly better. Ah, it's not bad. Another painted. See if we can lift them in. There we go, that's a much better painted ray. Circle hook just in the corner of the mouth. I didn't need to strike. Can I get it out without a T-bar? Without getting my fingers crunched? There we go. That is a much better fish. There we go. That's a lovely blonde ray. Blonde ray, David. That is a lovely painted ray. I'm not going to keep them out of the water very long. We've already spoken about these. Beautiful spines running from tip all the way up to the back of the head. Lovely. Let's get them straight back. He's having a little float. Go on, turn yourself. There you go. I've never seen a ray do that. Just floated on his back for a minute. He was cupped. Created like a little mini boat. I've packed all the rods down. I've got the anchor up. We're gonna steam in port now. We've got about an hour's steam until we're back. And then we're gonna get home, get these fish prepped, get them straight on the barbecue. Yeah, boy! Just like that, we're in the kitchen. Now, I'm very aware this is a long video, so I'm going to keep this bit nice and quick. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to keep my mackerel whole because they're going into a hot smoker in the garden on a barbecue. But a friend of mine wants a few fillets, so I'm just going to show you quick how to fillet these. You can see that these are the ones I gutted while we're on the boat. You can see how fresh. See that sheen that they've got? That tells you they're still super fresh. They've been in the fridge overnight, mind you, but they are as you won't get it fresh like that from a fishmonger's. Now all I'm doing is just cutting in behind the gill there. This is an awkward camera angle, but we're going to deal with it. And then just going to pop in just the top side of the spine and run that knife down until you get to your cut. Now turn it round, follow that cut all the way down to the tail end, and then just follow them. You'll be able to hear the pin bones. Just follow them all the way down to the spine. When you get to the spine, you need to angle the knife in a little bit more so you don't lose any meat on the bottom side of the fish. And once you get down to this section, you can just pop through, follow that all the way up and cut that off. So that is your fillet. Pop this to one side. Now this will have pin bones running down the middle, and it'll have bones in the belly side. It actually hasn't got any bones. It has. It's got bones in the belly side. So I'm just going to run the knife along that and just whip that belly straight off. If there's any worms, it's normally, there isn't in this one, but they're normally in the belly meat anyway. And then we've got pin bones running down to about halfway. So I'm going to do what's called a V cut. So I'm just going to run the knife either side of them pin bones down to the skin. I'm trying not to go through the skin. I'm And then you should be able to just whip that centre section straight out. And that is your boneless fillet. It's as simple as that. Now I'm going to get rid of all of these for him. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to fillet all of these for him. And then we'll deal with our fish. Right, we've got my mates all filleted off. Deboned, ready for him to cook. He's a lucky man. I don't do that for many people. You get the whole fish if you want a fish and you deal with it. Anyway, we're going to do mine differently. I'm going to keep them whole. They're all gutted, as you see me do on the boat. All of them are gutted. And like I said a minute ago, can you see that sheen they've still got? That sort of pearlescent sheen. And the eyes are as bright as they are when they come out from the sea and not dark red. If you go to a fishmonger's to buy mackerel, you'll know if a fish is fresh. If you can't see that pearlescent and the eyes are red, it's not even good for bait, let alone anything else. Now all I'm going to do with mine is a couple of scores either side, just to help it cook through. So all I've done is I've scored it like that, both sides. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of olive oil, straight in the barbecue. Simple. Right, a little bit of pepper, either side. I say a little bit, I like my pepper. And then sprinkling the salt. And if you rub that into all of them little cuts, then it seasons the meat inside as well as outside. Get that all into them little cuts. Put that straight in your way. Get all them into them little cuts. Little bit in the belly. That they're ready to go. They're good to go. They're seasoned perfectly. Let's get this barbecue set up. Right, this is my big ass rusty warm smoker. All I'm going to do, chuck a little bit of paper. I've got a load of kindling. It's all kiln dried kindling. It should burn relatively quickly, relatively easy. Right, with some persuasion, we've got the fire lit. I'm going to let that cool down to, or burn down to coals. Then I'll get the fish in there. It'll be quite warm. We want it up to about 150 to 200 on a temperature gauge. We'll let that settle down a bit, and I'll just add little bits of wood to keep that temperature up. Right towards the end, I've got some oak whiskey barrel, which I'm gonna, it's all the chippings. I'm going to soak that in water, and within 10 minutes before the end, we'll chuck that on, and that'll give it a big smoky hit. You will not believe how hot this is. So this is already up to nearly 280, something like that. At the moment I've got this open, and I've got this open slightly as well. So it's heating this right up, that you can barely put your hand there. We need this to drop right down until we've got like a bed of coals, until these big ones have broken up in here. Woo-hoo. Right, this has nearly died down enough. I still want a little bit of flame because we're hot smoking, but once I've closed all that down and taken away the oxygen a little bit, the flames go right down. The fish, I've just melted a load of butter and put a little bit of lemon juice in the butter, and I've drizzled that all over the fish just to try and stop it sticking, because we want some crispy skin if we can. These are going to go right at the back here in the barbecue. Now, close him up. Close him up. Just keep that open on the side and the heat will transfer. This heat is flying up now because I've had this open, it cooled down a little bit. So it's flying up to 100. We want that to be between 150 and 200. About 280 should be perfect. It's going to take a while. It's probably going to take 20 minutes to half an hour at least to get them cooked properly. Like I said, every now and then, once that's died down completely, I'll add another one piece of wood or one or two small pieces of wood. Just keep that heat going, and then right at the end, we'll ditch all the whiskey barrel wood chippings on top and just smoke it for the last little bit. I'm so hungry. We're about halfway through, so I'm going to attempt to turn these over quick. Oh, they are perfect. God, this is hot, hot, hot. Ow. Oh, they are cooking so well. They are cooking so well. Look at this. I'm going to get this closed up because we've dropped right down to 150. I've got one log in there burning away, so that should fly up. Oh, it's got a furnace in there, man. That should fly up in a minute. It's going up really slowly. We want that back to about 200. Give it another 5 minutes like that, and then we'll get the smoked chippings on there. Well, I have just added a little bit more wood just to keep. This is the whiskey chippings. I've been soaking them for about 20 minutes, half an hour. You want to get most of the water out, and I'm just going to open this up. Just get half of them in for the minute. I've still got a fire in the middle. Don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's still a bit of a fire. But them chippings are going to start, because they can't set alight, they're soaking wet. So that you can see how much more smoke is going to come out of this. We're still down at about 150 at the moment. I'm going to give it a blow, try and get that temperature up. That will smoke like buggery for the next sort of 5 minutes. And then we're ready. You see how much that's smoking now. I've dumped the whole lot of them on now. So that will be smoking for 5 minutes. That'll be a strong, strong hit of smoke just in 5 minutes. If you've watched previous videos, we've done some bass. I've done that for about 10, 15 minutes, and it was a little bit too much. So just a big hit for 5 minutes will be perfect. I'm gonna say this is done. Let's have a little look. Oh, 100% we're done. Oh my God. That is smoky. my God. Let's get this in the kitchen. Now, look at this, man. What I've done is I've just made a little salad with tabbouleh, or tabbouleh, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to try and just ease one of these. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get a little knife. Oh, you would not believe the taste of that. Just ease off the fillet like that. There you have it. Smoked mackerel tabbouleh salad. Man, I cannot wait to dig into this. Now I've got a little bit of spicy dressing here that I'm going to sprinkle on. Just a couple of drops here and there. That's made it look like shit, but a little bit of lemon. And there's our dish. Oh. My God. Now that's nice. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, and please share with your friends, because we need to bump our subs up here. 70% of the people watching the videos aren't subscribers. We need them to subscribe. The more subs we get, the more videos we can pump out, the more adventures we can go on. I'll see you on the next episode of the Solent Warrior.